As human beings, there is one thing that some of us till today still refuse to understand. Something that we refuse to, to put into our lives as a reason, and that is the fact that we all should know that everything happens for a reason. Now, some people do believe that, but many people refuse to understand that. And let me tell you why. Many people tend to think that when bad things happen to them or around them or to people that they love so much, they tend to assume that the world is out to get them. And I could understand that because it's like when horrible things happen, they don't really happen with a clear intention of why it's happening. Like, is it a punishment or is it just, nature taking its course? When something bad happens to you, at the hands of another person, many people tend to take that too personally. And I guess I understand depending on how bad that thing was that happened to you from another person. But don't you think that we should be able to we should be able to forget, or not forget but forgive and not forget? Because the thing is that when you don't forgive, when you don't forgive, that weight, that burden of constantly hating people will weigh you down, and it's going to constantly be this black hole in your heart that's consuming you alive. It's going to bother you so much, it's going to feel like a knife in your side. Forgive, but don't forget. The thing is that when you don't forgive people and you forget about it eventually, it means that you don't care what happens to this person at all. It means you don't really care what's going to happen, because when you don't forgive, these people will go on with their lives knowing that they did something, even though it was unintentional sometimes. But the fact that you didn't forgive them um, is really painful. But the thing is that other people also find it very difficult to ask for forgiveness. It doesn't matter what it is that they did to you and how bad it is. I think we all should have the right to ask for forgiveness, and some people make it a big deal when they've done wrong to someone else, and then when they ask for forgiveness and they don't receive it, they turn it into too big of a deal, and it bothers them so much, and they make it their life goal to constantly apologize. And I think that just becomes this big habit to just constantly try to ask for forgiveness, and eventually they will get to a point where they will break and be like, you know what, forget it. What's the point of asking for forgiveness if I'm not gonna get it anyway? But something I can say, an advice I could give out, or a tip is, when you ask for forgiveness, don't, like, you could wait, like the first time you ask for forgiveness, wait and see what happens. If someone forgives you, then be grateful and go on with your life and take that as a life lesson. But when you ask for forgiveness and someone doesn't forgive you, just sure take that to heart, but don't let it weigh you down. Don't let it stop you from living your life, because that's exactly what happens when someone doesn't forgive you. It takes away so much of your life, your attention, your the things that you're normally used to, because it's like when someone doesn't forgive you, you have to learn to at least forgive yourself and just move on with your life. Because when someone doesn't forgive you and you also don't forgive yourself for what you did, there's nothing that you could do to change what happened. It's just that's life, you know. When you do something, there you can't turn back time and go to fix what you did wrong before. So you have to make a difference today, and just move forward and make better decisions. Just learn from your mistakes, and I wouldn't say try to make up for what you did in the past, because it means it will keep you in the loop of it will keep you lingering around that thing that you've done, meaning is that thing is going to keep coming back into your mind, and is going to be this constant reminder that at some given time in life you were this horrible person for doing something that you probably didn't really have control of, but it happened at the expense of another person. So learn to forgive and learn to move on from your biggest mistakes, but don't forget them. Just live life to the fullest, the best way you can and the best way you know how, and eventually life will reward you, and you just gotta be the best you that you can be, because nobody else can leave you better than you. A long time ago, something really horrible happened uh, to my family, to my country where I'm from, and it's like we had to learn to move forward, and we let the lesson we learned from that event make us stronger and not make us fight back uh, in with a hateful heart. We didn't go to fight back with vengeance, because we had the ability to do that, but we knew that if we fight back in vengeance, if we hurt someone back with the same way they hurt us, then what would be the point of you know life? Like, you might as well not even do anything at this point if you're not gonna forgive people and try to learn from that and let that experience make you stronger. Because if you're gonna go and repeat that thing that someone did to you back to them, you're pretty much them. You're being someone you're not meant to be, and I don't think that it's fair that you should go after someone for vengeance instead of trying to make them a better person, make them learn that there's a better way to go about life.